What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Now as I mentioned in previous reviews, I was really impressed by the initial NECA turtle, the Donatello figure. It was freaking amazing and in my opinion, really was very statuesque in appearance. Now as I mentioned in my previous review, the 1990 film of the Ninja Turtles is always going to have a special place in my heart, for the reasons that I already mentioned, and I'm emphasizing 1990 because I know I kept saying 1989 in the previous video. Sorry about that guys, I'm still getting a lot of shit for that. Nevertheless, I'm going to continue my promise of reviewing all 4 turtles, and I'm so glad that NECA is the one that's in charge of making these turtles because so far I've been really impressed with the figures. I can't wait to own the Michelangelo figure and the Leonardo figure, which is going to be completely awesome. So today I got something really special for you. We're going to be taking a look at the 1/4 scale Raphael figure from NECA and the original 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. Let's take a closer look. Now, if you remember from the original film, one of the reasons that I thought Raphael was really cool was because he really kind of embodied that teenage angst. He was really high-strung and kind of pissed off all the time and really had an attitude, even amongst his brothers. You remember that scene where he lost a freaking sigh at the beginning of the movie? I mean, he almost lost his shit. One of the reasons that I immediately identified with Raphael was because of all 4 turtles, he was really the most sarcastic and he always had those really great one-liners. And I identify with that because I've been known to be a bit of a smartass myself. Trust me guys. And also, I like that he's kind of unique from the rest of the turtles in that he's very self-sufficient and it's not uncommon for him to go out and venture into the city, and in the film that's when we initially meet Casey Jones, which was pretty cool. The interplay with them was really funny. I mean, just that witty banter that they had, they kept going back and forth about cricket and crumpet, was fucking hilarious. Guys, thankfully NECA has done it again. This is an absolutely beautiful head sculpt and this thing looks like it walked off the 1990 movie film. It is amazing. The head sculpt looks fantastic. I love the eyes and especially the sculpted bandana, and if you'll notice it does have a couple more wrinkles than the Donatello statue on the side of the bandana. I really hadn't noticed this before because it's very subtle and you may not be able to see this because of the lighting, but the skin on this turtle is a slight different color hue of green, which is fantastic, so it differentiates them a little bit. Now it's not dramatic, but if you're really staring at it you can kind of see. Maybe I'll do a comparison video, I'm not sure yet, but it is there. Now in terms of the overall body sculpt, when it comes to the arms and the forearms and the hands, there's really not too much variation in the sculpt. It actually looks the same, and at least from the naked eye you can't really tell the difference, so there's no surprises there. The original Donatello was a great sculpt and this one is basically the same thing, so it's also a great sculpt. Now, not everything's perfect though, and one of the things that really disappointed me about this figure is definitely in his weapons or his size. I was hoping that they would be a little bit more high quality. At the very least, the blade part of the sai would be like a metal or something like that, but unfortunately it's plastic and it kind of kills the illusion. Now, as I mentioned with the Donatello figure, I was really impressed with the feet. And here it's no different. I mean, it is essentially the same sculpt. It looks fantastic though, and let me tell you something guys, again, this thing is so sturdy. You're not going to have to worry about it toppling over, and the same articulation is there, and it's amazing. Also, I have to mention that with respect to overall articulation, this figure fares a lot better for some reason. One of the aspects of any piece that really impresses me is when manufacturers and sculptors decide to employ the use of mixed media, and this is why I really love this piece. I know that the front part of the actual bandana is sculpted, but the back is completely fabric, and they found a way to integrate it so it looks seamless, and this is just fucking awesome. Now, the thing that really turns this figure over for me and just makes it cool on a whole nother level is definitely the turtle shell, and I'll tell you why. The turtle shell, I mean, as I mentioned before, it looks very realistic. Maybe not as realistic looking as the Dream X figure, that's debatable. But what makes this thing really cool is that it has so many scratches and notches on it. And one of the reasons that I say it's freaking awesome is because basically knowing this character and how scrappy he is and how he likes to get into fights essentially, it really shows on his turtle shell. One of the other aspects that people might find somewhat disappointing about this figure is the lack of accessories that it comes with. Not that Donatello came with so many of them, and really ones that are usable, but you know, I do have to talk about it. So you do get 6 additional hands for various poses. For me personally, I wouldn't use any other hands except the ones that hold the sais, because that really defines Raphael, and he also kind of looks cool in the poses. And finally, guys, rounding out the last bit of accessories with this figure is the slice of pizza. That's it. A slice of pizza. Now granted, it is very detailed, but just like the Donatello figure, unless you use some kind of magnet system or customize it in some way, however you want to do it, it's really kind of useless. But it is there, and you know, it looks delicious, I guess. Overall, guys, even though the sculpt is very superficial at best and it's essentially the same body, the head sculpt is what really makes a difference in these turtles. And if you'll remember from the original 1990 film, what made the turtles look different was the variations in the overall design of their actual heads. And here is a perfect recreation of them. So guys, this is another hit from NECA. It's a fantastic figure, and I hope that you pick it up because it's going to look amazing once you have all 4 turtles. Now before I go, I just gotta give a special shout out to the folks over at Big Bad Toy Store for sending this wonderful piece over for review, and if you're interested in this and other collectibles, you can visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on NECA's 1/4 scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 version of Raphael. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.
It's 9.95. It's cool, it's bad, it's killing, it's hip, ready and willing. It's 9.95.